Hello, Assalamualaikum, and welcome back everyone to the one and only Zeneration Show. Now at episode 5. Right. First of all, we would like to apologize. Really apologize to everyone. Uh, do you know why? Because the session with BMW is pushed to later date or later episode, and we sincerely apologize. Sorry sangat-sangat, ampun tuanku. We sincerely apologize for the changes done. But for you guys, we have come up with a topic that is just as awesome. It is regarding insurance policy and how you can plan your very own insurance policy. You might be wondering, can plan, man? Can plan? Yes, the answer is yes. Thumbs up over here. And that's why we are here today to peel further on this topic. As always, if you're interested in joining us on the show or want to partner with us or you just want to join us, right? Do hit us up on the pinned comment as well as on the link on the description below, right? Do leave a like, comment, and a thumbs up for the video. Really appreciate the shares as well. All right? Thank you. All right. Now, with that out of the way, let's see. How are we doing so far? Thank you very much for the joining, guys. Right? Now, tonight, we have a super special, awesome guest with us, right? He was diagnosed with critical illness 10 years ago, right? And when he was just like around 20, he was diagnosed with critical illness. Wow, that's wow, right? And he was our special guest in episode 3 of Zeneration Show, if you guys still remember. And if you haven't watched it, okay, don't pause the video because this is a live, right? After this live, watch the video. That's really awesome episode, right? And he is one of our associates here in Zeneration, with plethora of dry jokes and humor. Coming back to the show, James Su.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Hafiz.
Hello. Right. Hi. Are you on?
Yeah. I'm on.
Wait. Somehow I can't hear you. Hear your voice at the moment. Is it okay?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
No, I can't. Okay, wait.
We have some
Okay.
technical issues.
Can you guys hear James, or can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you can hear us. Leave a comment in the message below.
Yeah. Leave a comment on the message.
In the comment box. Yeah, leave a comment in the comment box. Let us know if you can hear us.
Because right now we are in our Zeneration office. I'm here in this room, like it's a private room, while James is in the main hall area of the office, right? And right now I can hear him through the door, but I'm not sure I'm hearing him from the microphone or the earphone. Oh, is it my microphone? Okay, let me check. Is it mine? Okay. Once again, let me check.
Joy says she can hear us.
I think it is my headphone. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me readjust this again. Okay. Let's try one more time.
Yeah.
Oh no. This is quite troubling. Okay, right. James, try.
Yeah, testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear?
Yes, yeah. Okay. Now I can hear you. All right. Okay. Sorry for the technical difficulties at the moment. All
Hello.
Right. Hi. Yeah. Hi, Angeline. All right. Okay. Now, welcome back again to James. All right. Sorry for the delay because of the problem there. All right. Now, James, welcome back to the show. It's good to have you back here again.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good to be back to the show. And even though most of the time I am behind the scenes, but it's always nice to be back, in front of the screen as well.
Yes, in front of the mic is much better compared to the back. But now, yeah, you are doing both of the work at the moment.
Yes, correct.
All right. Okay. Now, for the new viewers, right? If you are new to the show, James here is a special episode guest for the third episode. And we have discussed on the episode regarding the reality of critical illness. So, James, how are you regarding this? Are you really okay now?
Yeah, I've recovered. That was like 10 years ago when I first had that illness. Like recap back on episode 3, and
Mhm.
I've fully recovered 5 years ago. So everything's all good.
Okay, fantastic. Now, this episode we'll discuss regarding planning our very own insurance policy. For those of the audience who haven't had or who didn't know regarding insurance policy, right? So we're gonna peel the topics bit by bit. For those of you who already have insurance policy, right? We're gonna talk about planning your very own, which means like for previously maybe you leave it all to your agents, right? This episode we're gonna talk about how you can plan for your own. You know about it. Okay. Now, but before we plan everything, right? Before we even plan anything, we need to know what are we planning, right? So let's start with the basics. James, what is insurance or takafu?
Okay, so insurance is actually a way on how you actually manage your risk, right? It's a tool to help you manage your risk. Sakafo is actually Islamic insurance. So where members actually contribute money into a pool system to guarantee each other against loss of damage. But essentially, both insurance and Takafo function the same way, which is to manage risk.
Okay, so basically, like insurance and takafu is just a vehicle to manage risk, right?
Yep.
Okay, right. Now, why should we have one? It would just be another expense, right?
Yeah, so actually, like some people will have that mentality, like, oh, leceh lah, the insurance. Like, do I really need to buy? It's like, I could use that money to buy a house, buy a car, buy anything else, right? Let me give you like a simple analogy, right? Let's say you're on a boat, right? You have a lot of items with you, and these items are represented by the things you have, car, house, assets, and you also have a life jacket with you. Well, people who say insurance is not important or waste of time, let's say when the boat starts to fill up with water and is sinking, the first thing they will do is they will throw away their life jacket, and then eventually, they slowly throw away all the other things that they own, and when a wave hits them, everything is gone, including that person. Versus if someone who knows the importance of insurance, he would get rid of things that is cost a lot. Maybe he sell his car, maybe use Grab, he sells his house, rents a room, and in the event a major event happens, he's still alive because he still has his life jacket, he still has his insurance. So that's why actually insurance is important, and in fact, this is should be part of our education system, especially financial education, where we are being taught on how to value money, how to manage money. And when you have that knowledge and importance of insurance, then you will actually factor into your overall cost.
Okay, okay. So basically what you're saying that in our planning, we need to plan for our protection first before we plan for everything else, is it?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and this protection is insurance or takafu.
Yeah, that's right. So
Okay, okay.
yeah, so actually, if I could perhaps let me go and find the image to share, right? So there's a like financial pyramid, right? Let
Uh-huh.
me show on the screen right now. Yep.
Oh.
So yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry, there's a typo below. Yeah, but actually it's supposed to be wealth protection below. Then you have wealth accumulation, wealth preservation, and wealth distribution. So protection should be the foundation of
Mhm.
our financial planning, because imagine trying to build a house with just the roof on it. There's no foundation. Eventually, that house will collapse. So similarly, we need insurance as our foundation. So we can have invest in assets, have our investments, and in the event something were to happen, an unforeseen event like sickness, accident, death, we still have that foundation to support us and allow us to rebuild again.
Okay, okay. So okay, I'm kind of get the idea over here. So basically, we need to have protection first, and protection is the foundation of financial planning. Okay, now how does it relate to insurance planning over here?
Yeah, so let me share with you another image, right? So it's actually a rule of thumb by Dr. Sanjay Tolani. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Dr. Sanjay Tolani, he's actually a financial advisor and an international speaker, especially in the insurance industry. And he came up with this rule of thumb. So there are four which he covered, which is 10% of annual income should go for life coverage or for life insurance. Then you have 5 times of annual income, which should go for income protection, which is your critical illness. 20% of your income should go for retirement planning, and 5% of your income should go towards kids' education.
Okay, okay. So this is like a guide. You say?
Yeah, it's like a guideline. So like you know how doctors will give us a guideline that you must drink 8 glasses of water a day. So it's a similar concept. It's a rule of thumb. It's a guideline, because there's no right or wrong amount. Because it comes back. End of the day, it still comes back to each individual. Maybe for this person, yeah, 10 times is enough. But maybe for another person, 5 times is enough. Or another person will be 20 times of their annual income should go for life coverage. So it depends on each individual person.
Okay, okay. You say this is a rough guideline, apa semua apa rough guideline, right?
Yeah.
As a guide to plan. Okay, now help me understand this, James. Okay, when you say like 10 times the annual amount, is it like 10 times the annual income, so that the family left behind by the breadwinner, which is when the breadwinner is the one who dies or pass away, the family that get left behind can survive for 10 whole years after the passing of the breadwinner. So the family can survive lah using the 10 times the annual amounts tu. So macam gantikan seolah-olah macam dia punya gaji tu still ada jalan lah. Macam tu, is it?
Yes, correct. So it's like, because it's 10 times, so it gives you 10 years for a 10 years buffer time for that family to recover. Especially if there's only one person who's working in the family, and if that person passes away, then if let's say there's no insurance coverage, then that family will actually struggle, because let's say the wife who hasn't been working for so long has to start working again, and this takes time. But when you have a insurance coverage of 10 times, it provides buffer for the family to rebuild again, for if that person who hasn't been working to work again, to look for a job. So yeah, this provides a buffer time, allows them to recover. So by the time after 10 years, things will be back to normal.
Okay, right. I kind of get the concept, but it's hard for me to imagine the situation. Macam this is a life insurance as well as in takaful. It's the concept called hibah, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Do you have like some kind of infographic for that to help me understand or imagine the situation for life insurance?
Yeah, so we have a infographic of life, which actually pays on upon that. In fact, all insurance plans come with some form of life coverage. So of course, what people can actually do with this sum assured, or the payout that they get from life insurance or from the insurance, is that it, of course, one of it is to definitely cover funeral expenses, especially in the Chinese community. Funeral costs can start as low as 20,000 ringgit.
Oh
And
wow.
of course, when you have this sum assured, it actually covers the cost. But besides covering for the funeral expenses, you also want to leave behind an amount for the family to continue their life. For example, if a family, let's say the husband passed away and he left behind young kids, but he provides this amount of money for them to actually continue their education. Another scenario would be, let's say a grandparent, let's say a grandfather passes away, but he leaves behind for his son, let's say for his children and also grandchildren's amount of money, so that they can continue on with their life. So the next generation already have a head start already. with this pool of money ready.
Okay. So part of the planning is to plan for our eventual death. So sekiranya in the event that we pass away, at least our family members can survive based on what we have left them with, which is the life insurance. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And the planning part for it is how long do you want to support for them to be supported with life insurance? How long? Macam in the guideline is 10 years kan?
Yep.
So some family members maybe they want 15 or 20 years buffer time. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. So end of the day, it still comes back to each individual on how much sum assured that they want to prepare in
Mhm.
their eventual passing. So yeah, it comes back to what do they want to do with this insurance.
Okay, this is in the event that the person or the breadwinner passed away. Okay, what if in the event that the person is unable to work? Macam contoh, he wants to work but he can't work. Maybe total permanent disability, or maybe he is bedridden because of, yeah, like the graphic shows, critical illness. So how should we plan for that situation?
Yeah. Okay. So to backtrack a bit, like
Mhm.
when it comes to like insurance, because it comes with some form of life, and life also covers for TPD or total permanent disability, right? So
Mhm.
depending on what the insurance company definition of total permanent disability, so usually it's like, for example, they have difficulty or limitations in moving about, eating, dressing up. Then if according to that the insurance company definition, then that person qualifies for total permanent disability. So now let's say in your situation, say that the person is unable to work, okay, due to either total permanent disability or even for critical illness. Now
Mhm.
the rule of thumb says 5 times of their annual income for critical illness. Why 5 times? Because on average it takes 5 years for a person to fully recover from their illness, which is why they actually have this sum of they pay out a lump sum amount, and they actually can use this lump sum amount to pay their expenses because they're not able to work. They can go for alternative treatment and so on.
Okay, wait. Critical illness, it's a payout, right? So,
Yeah,
as you
correct.
have experienced previously, like around 10 years ago, where you are helped by insurance company with this insurance payout of critical illness payout. So, how long did it take again for you to fully recover from diagnosis until full recovery?
Fully recovered is about 5 years.
5 years. So the guideline is correct lah. So the guideline is based on statistic of real life events and is proven by James over here. Wow, mind
Yep.
blown.
And even at that time, I'm not working yet because I was still studying. But of course, with this coverage, because it allows me to recover within this 5 year period. But at the same time, my parents actually don't need to fork out extra money during that time, because now we already have a lump sum, so they can buy whatever food or supplements for me during that recovery period.
So basically, right? This calculation is almost similar to the life insurance coverage. It's just that for life insurance coverage, we plan for our eventual death. Like when that happens, we want the family to be supported for this X amount of years. For critical illness apa ataupun critical illness lah, in this case critical illness, right? When we are diagnosed and we could not work because maybe because we are diagnosed with contoh kidney failure, we can't work or we need to be bedridden semua tu. So we want our survivability with our family for how many years? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And another thing about the 5 times, even though it's a guideline, some will probably say like, oh, 5 times is probably not enough because the inflation for medical costs actually increases year in, year out. And they probably think like 5 years is not sufficient. So it goes back again to your planning. How long do you want to plan? And of course, it's important to review 6 months to 1 year, to do a policy review every 6 months to a year, so that you can continue to increase your coverage to manage against the risk.
All right, all right. Okay, wait. What about uh I hear that's accidents. Okay, how about accidents? How we can't plan accidents, right? So how we should plan for accident coverage?
Okay, so for accident, there is no guideline based on the earlier image. So
Mm-hmm.
this one is you can either make it the same as your critical illness or your life coverage. Because accident, there are two kinds of accident. One is death due to accident, which the company insurance company will pay out both the accident portion as well as the life portion. That is if the person passes away. But what if the person is in an accident and is still alive? Then you have both major and also minor. So in major meaning, for example, the person loses an arm or a leg, then the insurance company will actually pay out by percentage according to the loss of body parts. And then you also have minor injury where, for example, you fall down, you need stitches, but you don't need admission. Then you can actually claim as well, but it's a pay and claim basis.
So basically it is still payout juga, and dia punya
Yeah.
calculation tu can choose either to follow the CI critical illness punya plan ataupun life punya plan lah. It depends on each person channel.
Yes,
and
correct.
and the coverage or nitty gritty parts of it refer to each policy. Is it?
Yes, correct. Refer to each policy, or
Okay.
refer back to your agent.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, what about medical card? What is medical card then? Because most people, when they talk or think about insurance, insurance is equal to medical card. That's it. Most people think like that. In my case, previously before I've been to like insurance industry, right? My thinking is like insurance is equal to scam or insurance is equal to MLM or something like that. So enlighten us. What is it? What is medical card and what are its limitations?
Right. So medical card is used only when you're in the hospital, right? You because it covers like the pre and post hospitalization, your room and board, your surgical fees. That is covered under medical card. But of course, the question is, once you're discharged, how do you continue from there? That's where all the other portions of the insurance plan comes into place. The critical illness payout, the accident payout.
Oh, okay, okay. So let's use your situation again for example. Okay, to make me much easier for me to understand. Maybe some of the audience as well. Yeah. For the audience, if you guys have any questions, you can just type out on the comment section below. Don't worry, we don't bite. All right. So okay, let's. Is it okay if I use your situation as an example?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So in this case, right, you are previously diagnosed with critical illness. Okay. Now that was you are safe because you have critical illness payout saving you to cover the cost. Okay. What if in that situation you don't have critical illness punya rider? You don't have that. You only have medical card. So, how it will go? Like for example, maybe the medical card back then maybe the limit is roughly around 100,000 lah maybe. Usually 10 years ago the coverage should not be as big, right? So
Yeah.
maybe the medical card limit is around 100,000. So what would your situation be if it's like that?
Okay. In that situation, then no choice. We have to sell. Probably sell a car, sell a house. Do whatever it takes to finance the cost of after I'm discharged from the hospital. Because the medical card can only do so much for me when I'm in the hospital, but life still needs to go on after that. And the problem is like if you don't have that critical illness rider, then you actually have to fork out, take out money from your own savings. You probably have to sell off some of your assets to finance for life after you're discharged from the hospital. And sometimes it will probably wipe out whatever you have saved, maybe 5, 10, 20 years, and then all of it is down the drain.
But why? Because medical card can help with the what you call that dalam medical bills kan. Can't we
Yep.
just use medical card and then just stay in the hospital until you fully recover?
Of course, you could do that, but there's a limit to it because most medical cards will have a limit on uh, how many days you can use the room and board, maybe up to
Oh.
120 days. Then whatever that is after the 120 days, example, the 121 day onwards, you have to pay your own self.
Okay, okay. Oh, so it's like a medical card is not the like one card save all, like okay, sakit swipe. It's not that lah.
Yes.
We need to know the limitation of medical card as well. Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
there's a limitation to it. It's not like a card that you can use for anything. No, there's a limitation to it. And also realistically, who wants to stay in the hospital forever? You also want to go back to your own home to enjoy recover from the comforts of your own home instead of being in the hospital, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year.
So that's why we have all these payouts to cover the limitations of medical card, is it?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so that's why we need to plan. Okay, then how should we plan for medical card? Okay, we discussed about the planning for coverage in life insurance. We discussed for critical illness. We discussed regarding accident as well. But how should we plan for medical card?
Okay, so each medical card would have their own benefit. Of course, nowadays most of the latest medical cards have at least 1 million annual limit or 1 million coverage, and of course, maybe at the moment 1 million is sufficient. But medical cards also evolve over time, just like how our smartphone also evolve. When it evolves, then we change to a better smartphone. Now, in the medical card case, yeah, maybe 5 years down the road, there'll be another medical card that is maybe 1.5 million or 2 million or 3 million because it hedges against the medical inflation. So from time to time, like I say, from time to time, you need to do a policy review to make sure that what you have now is not just sufficient for today, but sufficient for 5 to 10 years down the road.
Okay, okay. Well, okay, let's say I don't really know all this, even though I'm hearing from you, right? Angel say over there, it's time to top up. We can't predict what is in the future. Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Angeline, thank you for the comment. Yep, I agree as well. But right now, let's see how can we know we need to top up, or how can we know that the insurance we have is not enough? Because let's say we don't have any, maybe part of the audience or some of the audience don't have agent friends, or they don't have any contacts with agents, or they don't understand what we are saying at the moment, right? So if you want to ask question, you can ask question now here. Yeah, you can just ask question, no problem, right? So how to know for sure, is it enough or is it not enough?
Of course, to know whether it's enough or not enough, again, go back to the guidelines, all right? And also, there are certain factors that you need to take into account. For example, your age, your current age right now. Okay, maybe you're in your 20s, you're single, you probably wonder how much insurance you need. Then, of course, because you don't have any dependents, but you are depending on yourself, that is where you need to focus more on the critical illness coverage. Compared to someone who's in their 30s, they are married with 2 kids, and he is the breadwinner of the family. Now his coverage will have to increase. What he had maybe when he was 20, now he will have to change because he's now married, he has kids, and he holds a bigger responsibility in the family. So that's why your life coverage, critical illness payout, all this you have to increase.
Okay, right. So let's say some of our audience over here really don't have any leads on who should they refer to for policy review ataupun nak tahu lebih or want to know more regarding insurance. You can contact us, or you can contact like James over here. Contact James. His phone number should be on the screen. Yeah. Or you can go to our Facebook page. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
if you want to take down my number is 01624022165. I repeat 01624022165. Or you can also contact Hafiz. Hafiz, what's your number?
my phone number is 019 505 2018. So I repeat again, 019 505 2018. So if you guys have any questions, or you want to do policy review, or you just want to know, you lost your policy and you want to know what's your coverage, just refer to your company. Which company is it? Or we can help you with that as well. Just
Yeah.
ask questions. Yep.
Yeah, in fact, you can even go to our website, which is below, zeneration.com.my, and you can talk to any of us from Zeneration to help you with your policy review. Or in fact, you can get insurance coverage for yourself.
So James, episod ni banyak juga kita buat iklan.
Yeah, of course we have to promote.
Okay, right. So right back on the topic, right? We talk about planning for life coverage. We talk about critical illness coverage, accident coverage, and medical card coverage, right? So I think there's a portion in insurance where we can do savings as well, like savings maybe for education, or like in guideline Dr. Sanjay just now said, how many percent of our income for retirement, or how many percent for education saving. So how should we plan for that?
Yeah, so going back again to the rule of thumb, 20% of your income should go for retirement planning, and 5% of income should go for your kids' education. All right. So insurance policies, they also have the savings rider. So usually, how much savings can you put in it? It's actually 5 times of your premium. For example, if your premium is 50 ringgit a month, then maximum will be 250 a month. So in terms of planning, yeah, I mean, again, it's a guideline. Maybe if you have more money, you want to save more, then yeah, you can do that. You can put more into your retirement planning. Or if you want to save for your kids' education, then you can put more into your kids' education.
Okay, so for some of you guys, or even myself, right, I want to ask, if for example they want to do retirement savings, instead of putting aside like this amount, should we have a goal of how big the number should be for our retirement fund, or should we just put aside just this fixed amount untuk saving?
I mean, that's one way to look at it. Like, to plan backwards. For example, kids' education. Let's say you want to send your kids overseas to Australia. So currently now you probably need about 3 to 400,000 ringgit. Then you can work backwards on how much you actually need to save in order to prepare this 3 to 400,000 when your kid wants to go to Australia to do their degree.
Okay. So basically for the savings part, which is the education saving as well as the retirement saving, it depends on the kind of outcome we would want, and save according to that, based on calculation lah, kita calculate lah berapa banyak kan, is it?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yep,
all right,
that's right.
cool.
We have a question in the comment.
Yeah. Let's see, it's from Angeline as well. Oh, thank you very much for
From Angel.
Yep. So thank you very much. Kalau ada soalan lagi boleh tanya again. Don't worry. Questions are free. So if a client thinks he or she gets critical illness, do he or she get medical report?
Yeah. All right. So thank you, Angel, for the question. So yeah, if you think you suspect like you have critical illness, the best is definitely to go and see a doctor to do a checkup and diagnosis. And once it is confirmed, yeah, you get the report, then you actually pass it to your agent to do the claim.
Okay. All right. Now, Angeline, I have trouble understanding your question. I get what James is saying, but I might need clarification. If client think he or she gets critical illness, do he or she get medical report? Is it you're saying that if he or she thinks that they might get critical illness, doctor will automatically like report to you, or should he or she go for a doctor? Is that the question, or is it not? I sendiri pun confused sekejap. But of course, if the he or she suspects that he or she is sick, it is much better to go jumpa doktor semua tu. And if we even have an app called Pulse yang boleh apa buat doctor on call. So download the Pulse app by Prudential. You can have like doctor on call, so that you can text or call the doctor online untuk check your like initial diagnosis lah before you go for doctor in person. If for example you are too busy, you can just do it online. Now everything's online. Simple.
Yes. Correct. Everything's online. In fact, before you even see the doctor, make sure you go and top up your insurance coverage.
Yeah, true. In your case previously, you are on the verge of topping up. Then you are diagnosed with this critical illness, right?
Yeah, correct. So continue from like a previous episode. So yeah, actually, I was in the midst of upgrading my medical card, because at that time the coverage was actually quite low, and it was like the previous version. And when they came out with a new medical card, so I decided, yeah, it's about time to upgrade it. And of course, it came midway through the process when I was diagnosed with critical illness. But of course, fortunately, the approval was confirmed, and I'm allowed to actually upgrade my medical card. So I was very lucky in that sense.
Yeah, very good. Oh, so okay. Now, here begs a question. Can you help me clarify this? Huh? Okay.
Okay.
Now, see, most people that I know of, lah, since I go to in this industry, right? Most people will say no to insurance. Most people will just say no. It's like almost macam mana nak kata, they don't it's hard for them to, even myself lah. Yes.
Yeah.
This perfectly macam bagi tahu, membayangkan apa yang I bayangkan dalam kepala. Okay, so most people doesn't want insurance, and instead of insurance, like, it will be just another expense, like I said previously. And rather than go for insurance, they much prefer go for like, so maybe investments. So can insurance be used for investment as well?
Yeah, actually you can, under the savings portion. Like again, what I mentioned earlier with the savings portion, you can, is 5 times of your annual premium, or 5 times of your premium. So if, for example, your premium is 50 ringgit a month, then maximum you can put into the savings rider is 250 ringgit. But of course, coming back to the part where they're not interested, there's probably a few reasons. One is they probably do not understand how it works, right? Maybe their parents buy for them, and then you ask them, they probably say, yeah, I have already, not interested. But then you dig deeper and find out, do they actually know? They probably say like, actually my parents buy for me, so I actually have no idea what this insurance is about, what it covers. And of course, this is where education is important. It comes into place to educate, like, okay, you need to know what is inside your coverage. If you ask a person who knows, they will tell you that, oh, my life coverage is this much, my critical illness coverage is this much, this, how much is my premium. Then you know this person really knows what he is planning, what he is buying.
Okay. Okay. Right now we have talked about all this planning for all this coverage, right, in insurance policy. We talk about planning in life, critical illness, accident, medical card, savings for retirement or education, or maybe it can be used for investment as well. But can it be used, or like are these insurance work outside of Malaysia as well, or like overseas as well? Is it, or should we plan for that? Oh, we can plan for that as well.
Okay, so actually, how most insurance companies, they only cover you if you're in that country. So as long you're in Malaysia, if unfortunate events happen, then you are covered. But outside of Malaysia, it depends on each individual company and their terms and conditions. So some, for example, if death due to accident overseas, then yes, you get a payout. If let's say you want to go for overseas treatment, is restricted to certain countries, provided that that expertise is not available in Malaysia. So
Oh,
only in these certain cases, then yeah, it covers when you're abroad. But other than that, again, refer back to your agent or your policy to know more whether it actually covers you abroad.
okay. All right. So in this regard, like all the other like riders or all the other aspects in an insurance, we can plan to the numbers. Macam contoh kita punya coverage berapa banyak, kita punya which yang kita nak ke, how much we are covered. But for overseas, it is not much of a control. It's more like know the policy lah. So to know the policy, you need to refer to the advisors or insurance advisor or takafu advisor. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And of course, you can't really plan like when you go overseas. What will happen. So
Yeah,
you
I
only can
was
make
thinking
a
like
judgment on like how much is sufficient when you're abroad, because again, we're not fortune tellers. Because if we're fortune tellers, then I think insurance agents job would be easy, because everyone will know how much coverage they need for themselves.
yeah, true. Uh, okay, right. Okay, so we roughly we have made or we have understood the rough guidelines on how we should plan. Okay, now let's do this, everyone. Uh, let's make an example lah. Kita buat satu scenario contoh lah. Okay, let's use myself as the contoh dia.
Okay.
I'm a male, age 30. Okay, I'm 30, guys. Oh, okay, I'm 30, guys. Oh. I'm 30. Not smoking. No health issue. With normal hobbies, no extreme sports or anything. Right. So, my let's just say my income is roughly 3,500 per month. Okay. So how should we calculate the ideal or the based on the guideline, my ideal life coverage, critical illness coverage, retirement, etc.
Okay, so with income of, let's say, 3,500 per month, so in a year is 42,000. So that means for life coverage you will need 420,000. For critical illness you need 210,000. And then for your retirement fund, which is 20%, you will need 700 a month, or a year you will need 8,400.
Oh, okay. So it is just calculation based on roughly lah berapa banyak kita buat satu bulan kan. So 10 tahun, 10 years for our life coverage, 5 years for critical illness, and 20% for retirement. Yep, tengah processing, yep.
Okay, can.
Okay, all right. Okay, and that is just a rough guideline, kan? It
Correct.
just depends on each individual situation, wants and needs, as well as budget. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. So, like for example, like the coverage I did, yeah, probably now is sufficient because you're single, you don't have any dependents. But when you are married, then that amount will also change as well, because you have a change in lifestyle.
Okay, help me understand this.
Okay.
How does being married or being like changes in the lifestyle affects this planning? Like this is a lot of money, man. So should it be enough?
Yeah, of course, like say the change in lifestyle, from single to married, of course, that is a major lifestyle change, because from
Mhm.
having little to no one to depend on you, now you have your family who depends on you, depends on your income. And when you are taken away from this equation, the question is, can they actually continue living after that? And if you actually have sufficient life insurance coverage, then the moment when you're out of the equation, they can still continue living. Like, let's say this example, for example, like Hiba, right? So it's
Ah,
like you have a husband and wife, both of them together, to support whatever expenses, their house, car, so on and so forth. But then when they don't have, one person is struggling to keep the whole family alive. But then when you have, insurance as the extra pillar, then the wife and also the children can continue their lives because they have a support. Yeah.
So okay, and the question is how the question on how are we going to plan it is how long are we going to give them the buffer time after we pass away for life insurance. How long are we going to give the buffer time for our survival after we are diagnosed with critical illness apa semua tu for critical illness punya coverage. Betul kan?
Yep, correct.
Okay. And everything stems from kita calculate daripada kita punya income setiap bulan.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. And you mentioned just now for retirement tu 8,400 per year semua kan. So insurance boleh bayar ikut tahun tak ke?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Sorry. Can insurance be paid out yearly as well?
Yes. So insurance, there are 4 ways, or rather 4 payment methods. I mean, you can pay monthly, half yearly, quarterly, and also yearly. So of course, if you feel it's convenient to just pay once a year, then yeah, by all means you can pay yearly. But you feel like monthly will be easier, then you can choose monthly. The payment frequency, the payment frequency.
Oh, okay. Alright. Okay, I see Angeline ada soalan lagi.
Yes.
Yes. Alright. Thank you very much for asking question. You're very active, Angeline. Right. If you want to be on the show, we are so glad to have you on the show. So just fill up your name on the description box below, yeah? I mean the link on the description box. Click on it, write your name. We can discuss on maybe you joining us on the show. Yeah. All right. So he or she diagnosed with cancer, but he or she had 2 same policies in one company. What he or she can do?
Okay, so to this case where you have cancer, let's say this person has cancer and also have 2 policies. You need to check back what is in the policy, because some policies, or rather some of the riders, they actually cover only late stage, maybe stage 3, stage 4. Some, if there's no rider, then of course it won't pay out for critical illness. Some, they even cover early stage as well. So again, you have to refer back to what's in the policy. But if let's say it covers both policies also cover for critical illness, then yeah, it will pay out for both. But if let's say out of the 2, only one actually pays out, then only that one policy. Or in fact, if both policies doesn't even cover for cancer, then yeah, you won't get a payout, because probably it's like you only have life and medical card or life and accident. So yeah, you have to check. That person has to check back their policies to make sure that whether it actually can pay out for critical illness, or in this case, cancer.
So like it go back to the question of what does the policy covers. That's why we need to have like a policy review to check betul-betul what is our coverage. Is that?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Okay. I hope this answers your question. Just make sure he or she knows what the insurance coverage they have, and make appropriate claims lah. If it's covered, yes, go for the claim. Yeah, you're welcome, Angeline.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Okay. Kalau if for example the person wants to go for like insurance for purely for saving, is boleh ke tak boleh? Can or not?
Purely for things, meaning there's no life attached to it, is it?
No, not necessarily. Like for example, we have like life insurance coverage, critical illness, accident coverage, and then as well as medical card. The person, like for example, I don't want any of that. I just want to put this one in the saving. So I want to maximize my saving, or like just want to do saving lah. I don't want anything else. Can or not?
Okay. Okay, so you just want like pure savings, then of course, most people would go with the bank because the bank only provides that saving. It doesn't have life or critical illness, just mainly focus on savings. But
Mhm.
let me give you a scenario. Let's say like, okay, you save 3,000 with the bank every year. And then
Mhm.
let's say on the fourth year, you have critical illness, let's say cancer. Then
Mhm.
because now you are sick, you are unable to work, then whatever you are supposed to save for the next few years is stopped because you have to focus on your recovery. That is if you just do that way. But the reason why people save with the insurance company is that in the event that a critical illness happens to them, then they have this rider called waiver, which means that their premium is waived off upon diagnosis of critical illness. And in fact, the company will actually help them to continue to save until the end of policy term. So you can see there's a distinct difference if you were to save with a bank and also if you save via insurance companies.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. Okay, that blew my mind just now. The waiver part.
Okay.
Okay, right. So, if for example you guys want to know more regarding plans for insurance, what are the suitable product for you guys? How should you plan for this? Or you just genuinely interested? You can contact us. Okay, you said just now. What is your phone number again?
016-240-2165.
Yeah, so you can contact him or contact me at 019-505-2018, or you can contact us on Facebook and select any of the advisor over there as well. We are glad to help you. We will gladly help you, no problem at all. Okay, so make sure you ask or refer to advisors, because if you just blindly look online, because I know Google is everything now. If you blindly look online, you might not get the most up to date information. Number one. Number two is that you will not have a really good time lah, because like for example, let's face it, uh, the insurance company, they don't have the service to help clients. They have customer service, yes, but they don't service the clients. What I mean by they don't service the clients is that it is us advisors who will go to the clients for like for example, the client is diagnosed and hospitalized. The advisor is the one who will help in admission process and everything. Small. That's the service provided by the advisors. Correct or not?
Yep, correct.
Yes. All right. So if you want more information, make sure you refer to the agents or the advisors, so that you will get the most up to date information and much more thorough answers for your questions. Okay. All right. So do we have any other questions from the audience? Are you guys good? Can you understand? Is it too complicated, or is it like too detailed? Because I try to like make it much as simple as possible for the information to be sampaikan dalam bahasa Inggeris.
Oh,
Uh,
to deliver the
yeah,
message.
delivered.
Yeah.
Sorry. Dia macam kadang-kadang apa lost memory sekejap kan kadang-kadang. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I see we have a lot of question daripada Angeline. So Angeline, if you are genuinely interested and want to be part of our team ke, ataupun nak join the show to do some sharing as a special guest, like for example, maybe you have a business, you want to do a bit of sharing regarding your business. Like last episode 4, we have NLP by Terence and Zen. So they are not part of the agency. We just help them introducing NLP to the audience. What is NLP? How can NLP help? Right, James, you are there as well, right? But you are backstage lah.
Yeah, correct. Backstage, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So I think we have any other questions? I think I have one last question from myself
Okay.
regarding medical card.
Yeah.
Okay, because this is my first time having my own medical card, and
Okay.
as medical card, there's a lot lot of years have existed. Like daripada tahun 10 tahun lepas ada medical card juga. 20 years ago ada medical card juga, right? So are all the medical cards the same, or is it like the terms and conditions semua tu dia updated each year
Yeah,
ke?
yeah. I think each medical card would, of course, they have the general features which are the same. Covers your room and board or the ward that you're admitted to, your pre and post hospitalization. So these are like some of the common terms that they cover, or even like surgical fees, your hospital supplies and in-house services, specialist visit. So probably these are some of the common features. But each and every medical card would have a different benefit. So some will probably cover outpatient dengue treatment, some will cover uh, maternity complication benefits. So you have to select which medical card is suitable for you.
Okay. All right. So that is for medical card. So if you
Yeah.
want to plan for medical card, we look for medical card that suits what kind of coverage we want. Is that?
Yeah, and look for what kind of coverage you want. And of course, maybe 5 years down the road, there'll be a new medical card. And probably it's like a combination of all the other previous medical card, enhanced version, if you put it that way.
Okay. Ah, okay. Rasanya macam dia dah apa boleh faham, boleh hadam sikit. Okay. All right. So if we don't have any other questions, do we have any other question from the floor?
I don't
Okay.
think so.
All right. Okay. So I hope you guys are clear with the how to plan the medical the insurance, your very own insurance policy, how you should plan it, how you can at least you can get an idea lah. But for the nitty gritty part, on the really detailed part, please refer to your agents, agent of choice, or if you have a friend agent, refer to them as well. No worries. As long as you refer to the agents, they will gladly help you. No problem at all. All right.
Yeah, or contact us.
Yeah, there's always an option.
Yes.
Right. So thank you again, James, for joining us today on the show, and thank you everyone for tuning in. If you would like to know more regarding insurance in general, you can always contact us on our Facebook page or contact us directly through our numbers on the screen. I think we put it on the screen as well. If you are curious about us, or you would like to be on the show, or you just want to leave some encouraging comments and feedbacks, do click on the link on the on the description or on the pinned message below. So
So this is my number. And
yeah,
Hafiz, what is your number again?
019 505 2018. Okay. So yep, that is our numbers. Okay, right?
And then
So
Hafiz numbers on the screen right now.
right. So on another note, if you are unemployed and looking for opportunity, do hit us up as well. The description box below, just tekan je dekat link tu kan. There will be a form for comments, feedbacks. How should we improve, or tajuk untuk next episode pun boleh juga. You can suggest what should we discuss on the next episode or next episode. Depends, macam mana. Right? So thank you very much, Angeline. Really appreciate the energy. Right? So yep, on our next episode, there will be on the 30th of July 2020. Mark the date and follow us on Facebook so you don't miss out on the next episode. So do look forward for it. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Thank you again, James. Right? And thank you
Thanks,
again.
Hafiz.
See you next episode. Bye bye.
Thanks, everyone. See you. Bye.